Welcome to 108 Gates, where we're doing the Divine Feminine reading first today. Hope you're all well. The energies identify progress that's occurring, progress that's happening, aware that more progress is to come, aware that how to pace oneself may be coming in, making sure we pace ourselves because of the nature of the stuff that's going to be coming up, nature of where we're heading to, because of the expansion into new, fresh comfort zones. It requires that we are aware of what's going to be expanding, the new weight that we are carrying. Remembering it's a positive thing, maybe remembering it's a thing of new comfort, it's a thing of new relaxation. It's a different kind of vibe altogether. So although it may mean that more responsibilities are coming or more factors to consider, it's for a beneficial reason. If it's not feeling beneficial, then I'd wonder, ask self, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this? And then gain some insight. Why am I actually doing this? What is the actual purpose of this? So just before I pressed record, I kept I heard like kind of, it was feeling the energy of making things difficult for self. Why would you make things difficult for self if there's no need to? Some things don't need to be changed, but we kind of think some things, when we alter one thing, that we have to alter it all. And then there's some things that we just don't alter at all, which we should. So discerning the difference between those and making appropriate adjustments. Knight of Cups. Again, that feeling of, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this? Where am I benefiting here? Where am I not benefiting? Where do I need to make shifts and changes? So 9 of Wands. Interesting. Where do I need to make shift and change? Where do I need to address things in a different way? How do I manage this expansion? Because it's going to be a substantial expansion. And for those of you who are doing certain work with time bending and stuff like that, you can possibly see shifts and changes happening really fast. It appears fast, but you know you've been putting the time in, you've been putting the effort in, you've been putting the work in. So it's not necessarily seeming so fast to you. Some of you might be just like, finally, at least it's happening now. I've been waiting long enough. Eight of Cups. Again, like I said, there's some things that need to be walked away from. There's some things that need to be embraced. Some things that need to be walked away from. And there's some things that need to be mastered in doing this. Discerning the difference, again coming to that very tidy message of discern the difference between what you need to stay with, what needs to be adjusted, what needs to actually be addressed and walked into. It's very convoluted, it's very, partly confusing, but it's very it'd be easy to misunderstand something at this moment. So it's best to just kind of be calm. Do those things that you know you have to do to put things forward, to make things feel a bit more substantially supported. But before that, it's like some things may seem like a good idea, and then it comes in, it's like, maybe that's not such a good idea. So feeling it out and letting it play out to be, there's certain things we can't rush. But having said that, there's certain things that need attention. This is the it's kind of like a catch-22 scenario. A 22. So it's just a matter of just making sure you're diligent to, right now I feel like I've got to take this step forward. It's like chess again. I mentioned that a few days ago, I think. It's like chess. You take your move and then the universe takes its move. You making sure that you're moving in the correct direction for you. Right. What do you want? What do you want to see? Cosmic mirror. Letting those kind of things show up. Letting those things be shown to you. And allowing in the clarity to identify which way you're going and why and how. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on all at once. So it's nothing to be, it should have been done ages ago. But at the same time, there needs to be some movement. I think a lot of the times it's this, it sounds like I'm repeating, but it's that same thing again of some things need to be adjusted and carried on with. Some things need to be left alone, just put it to bed, whatever, and be done with it. And then other things need to be allowed in. So it's literally as if you're sorting through that messy cupboard, and you discern the difference between, okay, this is done, it's got to go. This, I can use it possibly, I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Put it aside, it's a separate pile. This one I'm definitely keeping, so make sure it has a home, a place in the space, and it's put away tidily, safely. So, there you go. This will bring about some insight into what needs to just be let go of, what needs to collapse, what needs to be released and cleared. And also this again is reflecting the same energy that came up a few days ago, I think it was, that when you pull back from certain things, other people might have tower moments. If you're leaving a relationship or something like that, somebody else may be the one who's receiving the tower moment. If you've got rid of certain things or whatever it is, they may be having a tower moment because they may not be dealing with your shifts and changes the way you're dealing with it, or someone else may do something, change something in their life, and then there's tower moment. It feels more so the other way, that where you're doing particular things, how you're doing particular things. Don't be surprised if you feel like you're impacting someone else in a significant way. You might actually be surprised in how significant you are to some people. Again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's not a good or bad thing. It's a matter of, is it sustainable? It's a matter of, is it part of where you're going from here? Is it a part of where you want to be going? Is it a part of the new picture that you are forming? And again, so this is something that rides out. You've got to ride it out because this is coming in again in a similar fashion. There are going to be moments where you're wondering what you're doing. There are moments where you're going to be pulled back into your old cycle, into your old routines which you're trying to let go of. It's being diligent with that. If you do get pulled back into it, it's being kind to yourself. It's being gentle enough to be aware that now you're aware, so that you can release yourself from it again, and hopefully it will release you. But don't be surprised if it won't release you, because if it releases you, then they have a tower moment. They're avoiding that tower moment. It's a matter of survival instinct, someone else's survival instinct. So therefore, don't be surprised if somebody comes and holds on even tighter, or tries to pull you even tighter, or tries to convince you, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do this, let's just do it this way, it'll be fine. Not listening to what you're saying, not listening to your opinion. Be careful, but at the same time, remember you've got the strength to pull yourself through this. And the insight you'll be getting, just be aware of what the insight is telling you. Be aware that the insight is there, not taking it for granted. So for now, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to do the Divine Masculine reading now. So I hope that was helpful. Again, it just feels like it's moving this along. This is a complex energy. and it's moving it along. So keeping it persistent, keeping it consistent, keeping it sustainable, keeping it true to yourself. So for now, peace and love.